Now, what about augmented reality? How does that fit into this paradigm shift? Is this something that's interesting to you? Is this something you're thinking about?
Are you working on any augmented?
We're not working on any augmented stuff. I have a real hard time personally, like wrapping my head around what that is, because I'm very interested in, like what Jason was bringing up earlier, is creating worlds and being immersed in that. So the idea of I can play Minecraft on this table in my living room, that's pretty cool, but it doesn't excite me personally as much as VR does. I'm sure I'm going to be proven wrong by that, and I'm sure I'll end up making something eventually, but right now I'm really focused on learning how to, get better with VR. Yeah. It is interesting, but
I'm extremely interested in augmented reality. And I believe that VR is absolutely going to change how players view immersion and what games can be to players. But I think augmented reality has an even broader reach when it comes to its just ease of entry, because you're talking about combining what we're seeing right here with simulated reality and mixed in a way that is hopefully believable. So obviously we're super early. The very few companies have actually put any real stakes in the ground out there, because everything's sort of in prototype mode. But I look at game design and augmented reality, and I think just like virtual reality, it presents another completely new set of design opportunities for game developers to take real life and combine it with what's in our heads. And I see both virtual reality and augmented reality, actually virtual reality, augmented reality, and traditional game development moving along these sort of parallel paths and just broadening games' appeal in terms of how we just appeal in general, globally. So yeah, I'm excited.
That's good.
Speaking personally as opposed to for Oculus, I'm also really excited for it. I mean, there is probably a world, it's relatively distant, but there's a world where you're playing whatever game of the day in virtual reality and you're in another universe and a little thing pops up and says, you got to go to work. The screen suddenly shows through, and then all of a sudden it turns into augmented, or or things start helping you in the world with information that wouldn't have otherwise been there. And where's the stapler? If we still use staplers, because we don't even use paper at Facebook anymore, but the stapler highlights is a bad example, or whatever. Like there's so many things that augmented reality could really help, and I think eventually it's all one unit. There's no reason to have two units.
Yeah.
Right now,
I agree.
The challenge of creating VR, as you're seeing with the price points and the delays, unfortunately, across the industry, it's very hard. Augmented reality, in many ways, is harder, and that's why you haven't seen much launch, and the price points are so much higher, because fundamentally, you're walking around and seeing other people. It's got to look sexy. It's also got to be portable. It's got to it has so many additional challenges that are being solved by some very good companies. It'll take a while, but it's going to be awesome. And then it'll take even longer for the two of them to be able to be in one device.
Yeah. But when that happens, I mean, that is the sort of holy grail of entertainment.
Yeah, and clearly we both have young kids. I don't know if you have kids, but our kids, this is their life. Like when they get to our age, this is all.
Yeah, they're just going to grow up with it.
Yeah. I mean, I Instagrammed a photo of my daughter with a Vive headset on and things, and Cliff Bleszinski actually made a shirt with my daughter on it, and it said "Future," and that's exactly what it's going to be. Like, what flat screen TVs are not going to be part of our kids' lives. It's going to be all of this kind of virtual information that personally to me is super exciting. I can't wait.